welcome to week 4 of CSE110 or Intro to Programming in Python. Really quick, I want to reiterate, if you are taking the class at BYUI, this series, these videos are to help kind of guide you and push you in the right direction as far as your weekly assignments and such, if you need that help. There's no shame in needing that help. I absolutely needed it my first semester. I remember my first semester I had trouble understanding how programming worked and how the logic worked in the computer. So don't feel bad about that. Reach out to your tutors, reach out to your professor. Those are free resources for you if you are going to the school, if you're attending the school. For those of you that aren't students of the school or just want to learn a little bit more of Python, whatever the case may be, I'm here. Let's do some Python. Now, this is week 4, so this is video 4 in the series. We're talking about loops. Now, in the last video, I talked about loops. I said something about a while loop, and I used it in that prove file that I did last week, and I said it was going to make things easier, and it did. It made things a lot easier. Now we're going to dive into a while loop so you can talk a little bit more about what a while loop is and how it works and how it functions, and why it's so much more useful than just the application that I gave. Now, if you want to pause, here's some examples of a while loop being used. While loop is just taking a value or a true or false statement, and as long as that is true, it will keep doing that while loop over and over and over again. It's a very useful thing to keep repeating over and over again. Real quick, there are 2 types of loops. There's a while loop and there's a for loop in Python. Now, in other languages, you'll have stuff like a do while loop. That's another one that you'll find in like C++ or C#, is a do while loop. We're probably not going to talk about that one unless you guys want me to. We're not going to talk about do while loops because it doesn't matter in Python. We don't use do while loops in Python because do while and while are pretty much the exact same thing. It's just it changes the syntax of how you write it, and whichever one you prefer to write in is the one that you can write in. But since we're in Python, there is no do while loop. While is the only one that we have. Since do while and while do it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's just it changes how you write it. But here's some examples. If you want to pause on these, I'm going to give my own examples later in the video, but you can pause these and look at these examples that they're giving for a while loop. Okay, for this prepare one, I've been calling them prepares. I don't know. They're learning activities is what they call them in this course. Another side note, I'm taking this course in a 7-week block class. So I'm taking it in a very condensed period. So if you're taking the 14-week, the timing of these videos might be a little off for you. Stuff you're doing in week 6 might be in video 3 or week 3 or what have you. Be ready for that. That's just going to happen because I'm taking a block class. Things won't line up exactly how you have them in the full-length class. But if there is something that you're doing in the full, like if you're taking the full 14-week class and there's things that they're covering there that you don't quite understand that I don't cover here in these videos, feel free to reach out to me, comment below, tell me what it is, explain the problem. I'll be happy to help. I'm not technically a tutor or anything, but I'm in love with Python. So I love programming, I love Python. I may be able to help out. I'm not an expert in any way, but I may be able to help out. Also, if you are attending the school and you want to reach out to me a different way, you can use Teams. I'm here, I'm on Teams. I am going to be a student up until December of 2023. So anytime up to that point you have any questions, you're watching these videos and you don't understand exactly what's happening, you can reach out to me if you're a member of the school. I'm on Teams. There's my name. Feel free to reach out, say hi, explain your issue. I'm happy to help with anyone going to school or trying to figure this out because I understand the issue. If you're not a member of the school, I'm not just anyone on Teams. You won't just find me under a certain name. Like, it just doesn't really work that way. And I don't really know how to give that to you to reach out to me. So we're just going to leave it at that. If you're not a member of the school, or not attending the school, and you want to reach out to me, just do it in the comments. I do check those almost daily. Almost every 24 hours I check that. Sometimes it's every 2 days, but almost every single day I do check those. So let me know down there and I will respond when I can. Now, another thing, I know that the professor provides his sample solutions. If you work at it for an hour or such like that, you can look at his sample solutions. So the point of this isn't, and I know he does that, so the point of this isn't to just give you the solution or anything like that. I'm here to try to help you understand why things work the way they work. And so I don't feel bad pulling up my stuff. I don't need those anymore. Those are from the other past week. Okay, so this is Prepare 1. The one I call it Prepare 1, I mean, I guess you could call it Learning 1 or whatever you want to call it, is where you ask for a positive number and then you just keep looping until they give you a positive number. If you give a negative number, then it's just going to keep asking. So you want a positive number. So first off, the way I did it is I just asked for a positive number. Pos number is equal to int input, please enter a positive number. Now, once they give that to you, if they happen to give you a positive number, it'll just skip this while loop altogether because you entered a positive number. It won't even consider this because it's not less than 0. But while positive number is less than 0, print, sorry, that's negative number, try again. And then you could say positive number, ask for it again, and it'll just loop through these 2 lines of code until you give it a positive number. There's another way you can do this, and I almost considered doing it this way. And this idea that I'm about to share with you might be helpful later on. Is the same idea that I used in the prove assignment last week for the while loop that I used in the adventure game. Is here, instead of saying pos number is equal to int input, you could say something like pos number is equal to -1. And then now pos number is already equal to -1, so that means it's less than 0. So that means it'll automatically jump into the while loop. And so it'll go, oh, okay, less than that. But the problem with that is that it'll say, sorry, this is a negative number, and you don't want to say that when you start the program. So what you would do if you wanted to do it this way, I think this one's a little bit more complicated, which is the reason why I didn't do it, was that you'd put it like this, and then you put some if-else statements inside here to say, so you'd ask, so this would be your first line, you'd say pos number is equal to -1, then you say while pos number is less than 0, you ask for it, like that. And then if statement saying if it's negative, if it's not greater than 0, whatever, please try again, whatever. But the way that I have it put here is probably the cleanest way to do it. The least amount of lines of code to write. So you have this, and then this will just loop over and over and over and over and over again until you give it a positive number. And I'm going to comment out this right here because we don't need it right this second. And if I hit play, it's going to come down here and ask for a positive number. If I hit -5, it'll say, sorry, that's a negative number, -8, -1. And if I hit 3, it's like, number's 3. And it kicks you out, game over. Well, at least that's what you want. So you can also enter a 0. If you enter a 0, 0 is technically a positive number, so it will count that. And that's fine, I think, especially for the school's requirements. That's okay. I'm pretty sure that's what they wanted anyway. Let's comment that out. Now we have this this other while loop that I gave. The other example that they want you to have is to ask if you can have a piece of candy. Pretend you're a child asking for a piece of candy. Say, may I have a piece of candy? And keep looping until the user inputs the word yes. So that's not too difficult. That's actually really similar to what we just did, except I just created answer equals no. And then I said, while answer is not equal to yes, then just say, can I have a piece of candy? And then once it is equal to yes, it will loop out. Now this is an important part of this. That exclamation mark right there means not. And it will mean that for lots of languages, lots of programming languages that you may or may not learn in. That exclamation mark always usually means not. It's a word, it's a symbol that is set aside in Python and in C++ and in C# and many other languages. That means not. So if you put exclamation mark equals, it means while answer is not equal to yes. You could go further into this and say while answer dot lower, like I did in the last video, if you wanted to make sure that no matter what they typed in, capital, lowercase, whatever, it would still work. I also didn't put a space there like I should have. There you go. That's a little better. And I'll show you both ways. So this one just needs to say, can I have a piece of candy? You say no. Can I have a piece of candy? No. No. No, 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 no. Can't be scanty. Ha 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 ha. It'll just keep looping. This is the beauty of using the not equals to operator here. This not equals to allows you to be able to put anything you want in there. Now, like my professor was said in like one of his little things, I didn't do it, but it was a fair point. You could say while answer, or I'm sorry, while answer is equal to no. You could do that while answer is equal to no, because they'll be entering no. But if you type something like I just did, like haha or no, 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 it would then just kick you out because it isn't equal to no anymore. So this not equal to yes is a way to be able to say, I want this specific input before I move on. Like, yes, I want the word yes before I move on. I don't care whatever else you enter, just as long as it's not equal to that. I want it to keep looping, which it does until you type a yes. But if I type it with a capital Y, it'll keep asking until I type it in lowercase. So the point of what I was saying a minute ago is I can put something called dot lower, and the dot lower is just a function that takes whatever is in your variable and makes it lowercase, all lowercase. So if someone types a capital Y or all caps, it will still run. So you could say like, I don't know, no. But if you type yes with a capital Y or all caps, it doesn't matter, it just kicks you out anyway. That's a nice way to look at it and kind of see it all kind of work together. Those are the two things that they want you to do in Prove 1. All right, and for Prepare 2, we're going to have a list of colors that we want to put into our program, and we want to display them one by one. Now this one, not very hard, not particularly hard anyway. Fairly simple way to do this. It's just a way to teach you to do for loops, and this is how you write a for loop. Let's go over here to Prepare 2. And how you do a for loop in Python is like this. For I and colors. Now, I is a variable that you just created. Okay? You can write whatever you want. You can put a J in there, which some people do. They put J's. You could put Princess Consuela, or put friends or something, I don't know, for friends in colors or something, and you just gotta make sure that that word right there matches. So all you're doing is for each item in colors, you're gonna have this thing called whatever you call it, friends. I'm gonna leave it as I because I like the word I. It stands for index, but that part's not important. But you have these colors, and then for I in colors, print I. Not too shabby, not terrible, but if you hit play, all it's going to do is it's going to print red, blue, green, yellow. That's all it's going to do. If you don't know how long it needs to be, you don't have an array to do that with, there's something you can tack on to the end of this for loop that will allow you to do that. Let's put a 2 here. I'm going to put a 1 up here just so I keep myself kind of organized. There. And then for this one, you just say for j, for example, if you want to make it j, I'm going to make it j so it doesn't conflict with this I here. So for j in range. Now, range, with the parentheses around it like this, what this does is it looks through a range of numbers, for example. So if I put 1 to, was it 8? Is that what they wanted? Did they say 1 to 8? I can't remember. Yeah, 1 to 8. Okay? So you do 1 to 8, and then down here you just say print j. Simple enough. This will now go through this range of 1 to 8 and just print whatever the number is. If you hit go, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's correct. Sorry. You need to go to 9. I'm sorry. I forgot. There's an index number. So you got to go to 9 so that it actually prints the 8 number. So if you hit play, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, the next step that they ask you for in this is to do it in counts of 2. They say count by 2s, just to display even numbers all the way to 20, so 2 to 20. How you do that for the range function is, let's just make a new one. Let's just do it like this. I did not mean to do that. Whoops. Let's try that again. There we go. You say for, I don't know, k. We can do a k now. For k in range, you do, oh, I forgot it did that. Never mind, that's not important. Sorry, I'm just seeing things that I want to fix, but I'll do it later. Okay, so you do 2 to 20, but how do you make it go in counts of 2 rather than just doing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You add another number, and that is the number that you want it to count by. And so now you just say print, okay, save it. And now we're going to get a really long list because let me just, never mind. Let me just comment this out so we don't get a long list anymore. Okay, so now we get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Simple, right? Did they want you to go all the way to 20? Okay, they do want you to go all the way to 20. So then you just have to update this one to say 22. Or even 21. You could do 21. That would work fine since you're only going to 20. It doesn't really matter. But if you hit that, it'd go to 20. All right, for this week, at least for the class that I'm in, we have a third prepare for the week. This one, he wants us to take that for loop we just used and use it to iterate through a string. So we'll say that, oh, we can't use that word, it's saved. str? No, str is the word. Let's just say word, I guess. Word is equal to commitment. How about that? Word is equal to commitment. Now we need to use a for loop to count each one of these words. So we just say for I in word, and then we just say print I. Hello. That was weird. I thought I typed that. Okay. And if we do that, it'll print out here, commitment. Now, in the instructions, it does say make the favorite letter an uppercase. Now, it says if the letter is M, I don't know if they want you to ask the user for an M. Yeah, I don't know if they want you to ask the user for their favorite or if you just want it to be an M. In the case that they just want you to be an M, I guess, you would say something like this. You'd say like if I is equal to M, something like that, then all you do is you print I dot upper. Whoops, upper. That's how you do it if you want it to be up. If you just put an else statement and then just say print, whoops, print I. That's how you do it. If they wanted you to make it an M, then here, all the M's are capitalized. If they wanted the user to input the favorite word for them, you just make a variable for that. So, fav letter is equal to input. What is your favorite letter? There we go, like I did that with a British accent there at the end. What is your favorite letter? All right, and then all you have to do is you just erase that and you put fav letter. Okay, if I is equal to favorite letter, then I dot upper, otherwise no. So what is your favorite letter? We'll say my favorite letter is C. All right, and then look, the C's capitalized. That's a hard one to see, actually. I didn't notice that I didn't think about the fact that the C would be really hard to see. Let's do a T, I guess. Okay, and now you can see the T's are all capitalized. Another way you could do it is if you wanted them to make sure that no matter if they typed in a T or an A or whatever, a capital T or anything like that, you could do dot lower and then hit save. Since all of this is in lower, you could do fav letter dot lower and hit play, and you go, what's your favorite letter? M, and then it would still take care of that for you and capitalize those. And now they want you to print it all on one line. There is a way we can do this. In this case, you would do something called end. How you would do that is after your print statement of what you want, you type something called end, and you hit equals, and then you just leave it like that with an empty character spot or empty string spot like that. You can also do that here as well. You just say I, comma, end. And then you just put that there, save. All that's doing is it's saying at the end of the line, don't do anything. This command tells the program what to put at the end of the line. So if I were to, again, leave that off, it would just do a print statement and then do a new line like it's doing here. It prints, then new line, print, new line, print, new line. This is telling it at the end, don't make a new line, do what I say, whatever I say, and then it would slap something at the end. So here it's just putting a blank spot, meaning that it won't put a new line, it'll just put the next thing available. we hit go, it says, what is your favorite letter? Do an M. There, all the M's are capitalized, and it's all slammed together on one line. That's what we wanted. So next up, they want you to hide the letter that the user inputs. So if they type in M, put an underline instead of the character that they have. So in commitments, all the M's would be gone and be replaced with underscores. Again, not too hard to do. We leave that end there where it is, and all you have to say is you just print, oh, that didn't work. There we go. All you have to do is print an underscore. That's all you got to do. So if you say a T, then where all the T's are gone. If you play it again and hit the M, like they were showing there, M, come on. All right, for the team assignment this week, they want you to create a random number and then ask the user what the number is and have them play like a guessing game. The first step is they want you to ask for a number. So for example, you would say something like magic num is equal to input. Oh, I need to put int around it. What is the magic number? Question mark. I can spell, I promise. I need to put this whole thing in case it and an int because I forgot to do that. Int, okay. And then after you ask them for the magic number, then just have them guess through a loop until they guess. Number is not equal to magic num print try again. There you go. And then after you finish that loop, then you can say print you got it. You got it. Boom. So now this is just to teach you again how while loops work and all that. So if you hit play, it's going to say, what's the magic number? And you'd say, oh, I don't know, 5. All right. Oh, I need to put a space there. I forgot to do that. Doesn't matter that much, but there you go. And then it'll say, guess the number. Okay, 8. I'd be like, oh, shoot, I forgot. And then you also want it to say if it is higher or lower. So you'd say something like, if it's lower, you want it to be higher. So you'd say higher, try again. And then you put over here lower, try again. Perfect. Yeah. So you could here say an else statement that says else, print you got it, if it is equal to it, or you can just leave it like this and have it loop out. I think I'm going to put an else statement because it just looks clean to leave an else statement in here. Put your last thing as an else statement. I'll put that right there. And then that should be the end of it. Let's jump through. Here we go. Some magic number. Okay, now we're going to do this correctly, okay? Guess the number. It's a 6. Really? It's going to keep looping it? It doesn't ask again? Oh, because I didn't... See, this is what coding is, by the way. You mess up sometimes and you just have to redo it until you figure it out. There we go. We're doing 10, 2, 11, 10. You got it. Okay, so there's that. There's where you type it in, give it the magic number, and have it try to check if that is the magic number. Now, instead of doing that, they want you to create the number to be random as it could be. This should work just the same if you just hit play. It's only going to go to 10 because I didn't change that number, but you could say 10. It's probably going to say lower. Okay, 5, higher, 6, 7, 8. Okay, number was 8. And if I hit play again, it's going to change that number. It's not going to be 8 anymore. If I hit 8, it's probably going to... Oh, did it do the same number again? That might have just been lucky because it's not supposed to do that. Yeah, lower, try again. So it just repeated the number twice, which is fine. I guess that happens sometimes. Higher, 6. Okay, got it. Now they want you to increase the number to 100, and then it's the same thing. You just add an extra 0 right there. You hit play, and then you just go until you find the number 50. It's lower. Okay, 30. Higher. Okay, 40. Lower. Okay, 35. Lower. 32. 33. You got it. Okay, and the stretch challenges for these are to keep a track. That was interesting. Keep track of how many times the user enters a number to continue playing the game. So Right after guess the number, we're going to put something called count. Whoa, count. Okay, it is equal to 1, and we're equaling 1 because they just guessed. They just put the number in, so it's equal to 1. And each time they loop through these numbers that says try again, we want to add some more to it. So we say count, oh my word, okay, plus equals 1. And you put plus equals 1 every single time that they don't guess the number. So in those two places, put the count in there. It should count that. And then you easily, at the very end, you say, you got it, print, it took you the count tries. There you go. So now you've got this thing that counts how many times they entered a number, and it took you how many tries to find the right number. So let's play it. Let's give it a test. Guess the number. 50? Lower. 30? I got it. Whoa. And look, it took me only 2 tries. Nice. And that counted it correctly. It did take me 2 tries to get the number. Awesome. The other one that they wanted you to do, the other stretch challenge, was to keep playing the game as long as the user keeps entering yes, they want to keep playing. So how I would do that is I would create another while loop. So first off, I'll create something called keep underscore playing. Make it equal to true. And then down here, I'll create a while loop that says while keep playing. Okay? And you put that. Now, remember that I said that indentation and tab really matters. So once you do that, you highlight the whole thing, you hit tab, and that'll put it inside this while loop. So you'll keep playing this game, although there is a small note here, actually. We do want to put these things. Excuse me, we want to put those in here. I'm going to have to fix that spacing too as well. Okay, perfect. Because we want it to create a new random number every single time the user starts the game, we got to put it inside the keep playing area. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to come in here, it's going to say keep playing is equal to true. Good, so it's going to come in here and say keep playing is true. Okay, move in. Creates a magic number, guess the number, counts equal to 1, then it'll jump into this loop, and it'll keep looping until you get the answer that you want. Now you're going to want to put this as well, tab that once so it stays inside the while loop as well, because you want it to print at the end of each time they get it. And so there, it'll print that after they guess it, and it exits that while loop right here. It'll tell them that how they guessed it, how many tries it took, and then it'll restart the loop again. Now the thing here is we don't want it to go on infinitely. We want to give them an out if they want to get out of the while loop. You'll say if keep going is equal to yes. And once again, I'm going to put the dot lower here so that no matter what they enter, it'll work properly. And I'll put this, and I'll say yes / no. And if it's equal to yes, then pass, just keep going. Oopsies. And then if it is equal to no, which we're just going to copy that because I'm lazy. I'm not doing that again. Paste. If it is equal to no, then we're going to say keep playing equals false. And that'll get us out of the loop. And then you can even just say else. If they type something else, just say print. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Is not a valid option. Done. It's not a valid option. And now you can test the game and play it to make sure that it works the way you want it to. Guess 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, oh my word, 85, 83, 82, oh my gosh, is it 81? Okay, you got it. Took you 9 tries. Do you want to keep playing yes or no? If I type ha ha ha, it's like that is not a valid option. Oh, I do need to actually, real quick, ask again if that is true. So here I'm going to put a type of like list or dictionary, or maybe even array, you could call it. Just a list of items, a list of options available to when you go down to the keep going. I'll call it options, and I'll do that, and then open square brackets, and I'll say that the available options are yes and no. Those are the available options for you. And then down here, I'm going to say while keep going, not in options. While keep going is not in options, we're just going to keep looping this. Hit tab again to make sure that's in there. So guess the number 50, lower 30, 20, 10, 15, 16? Okay, 16. Took you 6 tries. Do you want to keep playing, yes or no? Now I could say, ha ha ha. And it's like, that is not a valid option. Do you want to keep playing? And you'd say, yes. Okay, then it comes back and says, guess the number. You get 50, higher, 70, 60, 55, 56. Took you 5 tries. Do you want to keep playing, yes or no? And if I type no, it'll kick me out. You could even add at the very bottom if you want to say like, thank you for playing or something at the very bottom. That's valid too. All right, and for the prove assignment for this week, you're going to be doing a word guessing game. Now the game is going to end up looking a little something like this. It's going to say welcome to the game, and then it's going to give you like a hint, and that's going to be a number of like underscores to tell you how many letters the word is. And then as you guess, as these letters become available, you'll see kind of how this goes. It's kind of like a hangman. It's kind of like that game where they give you like colors and you have to figure out the arrangement of the colors based on hints that they give you. So the idea is that if you guess a letter that is in the word but it's in the wrong spot, it's a lowercase. But if you guess one in the correct spot, it's going to be a capital. So, for example, here you have a word named like temple. M is in the word, what was the word? Mosiah. The word was Mosiah. There it is. And M is in that word, but it's in the wrong spot. And so it placed it there. You guys see what I'm saying? So the midweek, I guess, the midweek thing that when you submit your milestone for it, will be pretty simple. I've already got it kind of typed up here, and this is to give you an idea of kind of how you're going to go. You're going to take the things that you've learned so far already. Now you can create this list of words kind of like how I did here, or you can import a list of words from the internet, which if you want to do that, I'll let you go Google that and figure out how to do that. But this one's pretty simple, pretty easy. You just make a list of items here, and then you need to select, like we did before, with a random integer. I did mine 1 to 4 because technically it is only 4. I mean, there's 5 items, but you just have to be careful with how you say it. I might start with a 0 actually, like that, to say start at index 0 to make sure that this is an option. As you go through and you try to make this a reality where it fills it in for you, you're going to need to take that word, kind of like how I showed you before, get that word from a list, or maybe however you choose to get your words. I'm getting them from a list. You get them from a list, and then you parse through them. And then for as many letters as there are, you need to create blank spaces. And each time someone enters a guess, you need to parse through that guess and see if any of those letters in the guess match up with the real word that they're supposed to guess. And then you need to create a little bit of logic with some if and if else and stuff like that. A little bit of logic there that will help you decide whether you should put a lowercase or an uppercase or what have you to help them get through here. So that sounds like a lot of fun to me. I don't know if it sounds fun to you, but those are a little bit of hints that I could give you to try to help push this along, to help get you a little bit further along. Go out, have some fun, start with the milestone first, make sure you get to the point where you can do this and you can count how many tries it takes for somebody to get your word, and then build from there and try to complete the rest of it where you give them the hints and so on and so forth. So go have fun. This is the stuff for this week. If you have any questions, again, let me know down in the comments below, or you can, if you're at the school, you can message me on the Teams. That's fine with me.
I'll do my best to help you out if I can. So until next week, friends, I'll see you. Peace.